there this year.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things that people don't really talk about a lot is like just being healthy enough to be out there and get those reps and really compound, putting things together over and over and over again. When you have an injury, it kind of sets you back, and then you kind of start back over from where you were, and you're constantly playing this battle of trying to like stay in it, staying in shape. You can't just continue to get better at your craft, right? And so I think that's going to be the biggest thing for him this training camp, honestly, is just be out there every single day with intent to be better, and to really own it. If you want it to be yours, it's there for the taking. And, I think that's the biggest thing for him, man, is just playing with confidence. If you want to be that guy, man, to go out there and show your teammates, show the coaches, show everybody that you're ready, and so I'm excited for him, honestly.
Can you talk about how ready your ankle is now after you rested mostly in the spring, I'm guessing, to stay off it after what you did last season, and how you're feeling coming into camp? Yeah,
no, I feel amazing. OTAs was honestly had nothing to do with the ankle. It was just how my process has gone these last few years of not having to be out there during phase 3. But I feel the best I've ever felt.
You reflected on just what you went through last year to stay on the field every game and how it tested you?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's crossed my mind, especially going into camp now, like knowing like during my training, like not having to even think about it or worry about it is like it's a breath of fresh air, honestly, just to be able to go out there and just be myself again. But I'll have time to fully reflect on all that stuff at the very end.
What's something you wish you knew as a rookie that you know now?
Probably that everybody is a human being just like me. It's like I think the biggest hurdle for a rookie is like that mental hurdle of like, all right, my whole childhood I've been growing up watching these guys on TV, and even in college, you watch players that you admire from afar, and then you're finally here, and it's like, oh my God, that's George Kittle, and oh, it's Christian McCaffrey. Oh my gosh, Nick Bosa. And it's like you can't really like fathom putting yourself on that same level as the type of guys that have been there and done it and earned it at the highest level, right? And so, but at the end of the day, they are human beings, and we were all rookies once. And you're here for a reason. You obviously have the talent to compete at this level. The only thing that we have to our advantage is that experience. And so, the quicker that you can catch on to the plays and really realizing that you belong, you can really let your youth and your ability to go out there and compete and be a guy.
You can't believe it's day one. Does it feel like you've been chomping at the bit since January to get here and finally get started this season?
Yeah, most definitely the longest off season of my life. It was just like obviously not making the playoffs. It did feel long. It was needed. I think everybody kind of got that recovery, rejuvenation, whatever you want to call it, to really fuel that fire going into this camp. And I fully expect it to be the most competitive and hard-fought camp that we've had.
The best non-football thing. John Lynch told a story of you back in 2018 about him going into the locker room at night one night, thinking that the locker room was empty, and he found you sort of in the corner looking at an iPad, studying, essentially. Do you ever relay that to, a Nick Martin, rookies, and do you see any of those guys doing that sort of studying that it takes to really make an impact as a rookie?
Yeah, no, I honestly try to be a help to any of the young players that I can anytime they got questions and giving them that feedback that I can. I think I remember just as a rookie wanting to make sure I was on top of it in terms of the playbook because, like I mentioned before, everybody else who's been here, they have that experience and the advantage of having been here and learned the system, right? So they're able to kind of just get right into the flow of like, man, let me work on my craft versus a rookie. You're learning the plays while trying to be in shape and trying to work on your breaks and your punches. It's like it's so many different things you're trying to battle. It's like the last thing you want to think about in a play is like, man, what's my assignment? You know what I'm saying? So the more that you can study and catch up in that way mentally, that's going to allow you to now have a chance at competing and doing those little small minute details that we harp on every single day, right? So, yeah, man, I try to help it in any way I can.
What was your non-football highlight of the offseason?
Non-football highlight. Honestly, just having as much time as I did with my wife and my son, it was amazing. Just being able to spend time with them and kind of travel around, do what we did, and I'm big on family time, so I'll miss that part the most.
When you entered camp with Saleh, who's new but obviously not new, is it different I mean, I guess I'm asking, with Wilkes and Sorensen, by the time you guys got to camp, did you feel like, okay, we got a new coordinator, but we're all on the same page? Or did it take a while the last 2 years to kind of feel like, okay, we're a little more cohesive?
Yeah, no, I mean, I felt like we were in a great spot the last 2 years. You know, I think the ability to continue to play in the same system through 8 years now has been a huge advantage for a guy like me or a guy like Bosa or anybody who's played in the system. Like when you're able to really continue to perfect your craft in the same system, that's where you get better. And so obviously it's been different coaches, different adjustments, but at the end of the day, playing in the same system has been a game changer. Cool, guys. Appreciate it.